Hello everyone, this is Nathan from MTGgrind here with a return to Ravnica box opening. I actually bought this box at Da Vinci's DreamWorks, that shop that I play at for a Friday night grind, but I recorded the audio separately because there were a lot of people to shop and just wanted to make sure that everything was cool because the audio was kind of going crazy. We didn't have enough space on the phone and we wanted to make sure everything was good. Alex and Josiah helped me with the opening of the packs because once again we didn't know how much time we had left because we were on a smartphone, and so we wanted to make sure we got the entire video done because it would suck really bad to have it partially done and then just not finished because we ran out of time. So I kind of like gave them packs to open, plus they wanted to have some fun, and it's always fun to open packs. I just wanted to be nice to them because they were being really supportive of the whole venture. So this is just me passing out the packs to them. With this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you all the rares. I'm going to show you what's opened in the packs. And with the rares, I'm also going to give just like a quick commentary on them and tell you what's good, what's not. And so hopefully you'll have a little bit more of an in-depth view of Return to Ravnica and what's good in those cards in the set. So we're just going through commons right now. It's just a normal pack. The charms are really good. Apparently they're pretty hard to pull. But we get to Temple Garden, which is one of the shocklands. And the shocklands are good. They are predicted to sit at around $10 for each of them. Right now they're varying anywhere between, I think, 7 and 12, depending on what land you're looking at. But keep those guys because they're going to keep their value. And don't trade them unless you're trading for other shocklands, or you're trading for something else that's going to keep its value like they are, because they're going to be valuable in Modern, and Modern, that's pretty much why they get reprinted. Here we have Niv Mizzet. He is also predicted to actually go up in value. He's currently, I think, at $7, and he's predicted to go up to 10. A lot of people are saying that he's the new Titan. He doesn't have quite Titan stats, but he's really good for 6 mana. 5/5 flyer with a really awesome ability. He could be the new Titan. You never know. I mean, Standard's a weird place. Martial Law, I don't know how this card is going to be in Standard, but it is really a limited blowout. It destroys any deck in Limited that can't handle it. So if you're playing against blue-white, side in those Sundering Growths just in case they have it, or Paralyzing Grasp, or something else that they could have. So, but we get Carnival Hellsteed. Carnival Hellsteed I'm not very excited about. I don't like Rakdos. Not a Rakdos player. Don't really like the Unleash mechanic. And it's kind of a bad rare for me. I just don't enjoy it. It's just not very good to me. The First Strike is fine, but I don't know. It's just not something I would ever play, just because it's just not my style at all. But we do get Detention Sphere, and Detention Sphere is good. Maelstrom Pulse plus Oblivion Ring for the same cost, plus just, an extra blue, whatever. That's good. That seems really good. You gotta watch its text, though, because it can get rid of your own stuff, but that is going to see play in blue-white control. There's almost no way it doesn't. If it doesn't, I would be extremely surprised. Next, we get to Wild Beastmaster. I have 3 of this card now. I don't really know how good it's going to be. It seems like it could be funny with Rancor and Giant Growth, but it takes a lot of workaround, and it could go somewhere, but I highly doubt it at this point in time. So, whatever. Search the City. I don't like this card. It's very combo-rific, and that's about it for me. It's not going to see Standard play. I care a lot about Standard. That's what I play, and I just don't think it's going to do anything for it. So, but the Guild Gates, they could see, some good play. Not Standard, but budget Standard. Deadbridge Goliath, another one of those cards that I think it has some potential to it. I just think it's a little bit too expensive, but the format is slow, so that could turn around very well. You don't know exactly we don't know exactly how slow this format is. Dryad Militant, honestly, I think that's the talk about here. You saw it pictured real quick before the Volatile Rig. Volatile Rig's fine. It's fun in multiplayer, but it's not going to do much outside of that. However, Dryad Militant, that's going to shut down Snapcaster. It's a 1-drop that's going to shut down Snapcaster, and that could very well be key. Same with Syncopate. Syncopate's good too. Supreme Verdict, It's a board wipe. It's an uncounterable board wipe, even better. It's going to see play in blue-white control. Same place that Detention Sphere is going to see play, so is Supreme Verdict. I mean, that's just, it's not very far-fetched there. It's pretty obvious what's going to happen. So, but there's not a lot of commons in this pack that are looking out. Slitherhead maybe could do something, not quite sure. Palisade Giant, or Palisade Giant, however you pronounce that, it's fun. It's a fun, casual multiplayer card, but I highly doubt that it's going to see any kind of standard play. So, don't really count on it, but it's fun. It's fun for what it is. It's a good card. It's just not a standard good card. And there's a big difference between those two things. And but who knows? Key Runes might see some play. But Mana Bloom. Mana Bloom is interesting. I want to see what it does because it's a fun take on Ramp. I don't know how good it is. It's an enchantment, so it's easy to get removed. But you never know. You never know what it could do. I mean, Ramp could make a comeback. It's a very slow format. Slaughter Games, I predict that this card's going to be good. I don't know if I'm going to be right. I very well could be wrong. It just seems like it's poised to take the format. The format's slow enough to where it could have a very big impact on games, especially as a sideboard. Pretty much only as a sideboard, actually, is what I should say. Firemind's Foresight, however, I do not feel any of the same way about. I don't like that card. It's too expensive, and it doesn't have enough impact. It's a tutor. That's all it is, and it's an expensive tutor, and I don't like expensive tutors. I think that's fair. That's fair to not like expensive tutors. Chromatic Lantern, on the other hand, I do like. When this card first got spoiled, I really didn't like it because I thought it was too good. After looking at it, I'm fine with it. It's perfectly fine. It's a great mana fixer. It's already seeing look-ats in preemptive deck lists and fun stuff like that, because obviously no real standard has been played with this yet. But I would love to see where Chromatic Lantern goes. It's my second one, so hopefully it goes up for me. Dryad Militant again, but Dreadbore is the real talk here. Dreadbore is premium removal at its finest. Destroy anything for 2 mana, or destroy any creature or planeswalker, close enough. But destroy anything that's a creature or planeswalker for 2 mana, that's good. I don't care who you are, that's good. Charms are good. Havoc Festival, not very exciting. Fun in 2-headed giant multiplayer, that's about it. Let's get back to the charms. Apparently they're kind of hard to pull in boxes, and I managed to pull a lot, so I'm pretty happy about that. But they could see some play because they're very efficient at what they do, and they're very versatile. Versatile's good. Grave Betrayal, another one of those ones. I think it's a little bit too expensive for an effect that is great and really awesome looking, but I don't know exactly how well it's going to play out. I don't know. It could do something, but I kind of doubt it. Same with Hypersonic Dragon to me. Hypersonic Dragon feels like a hasty flyer vanilla for 5. 4/4 for 5 flyer with haste. I just don't think its flashing sorcery thing has much of an effect. Rest in Peace, however, very good. Destroys graveyards utterly. Golgari are going to have a really tough time. In fact, if you remember, that is why I put Golgari at such a low place, is pretty much just because of Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace is good, and it could see some real play. I'm not quite sure, but I think it will. Death's Presence, very interesting card. I like the idea of it. It could see some play. I don't know. It has an interesting concept, or a good concept. I say interesting a lot, but I don't know. I just don't know. It's funny. I like it. Grove of the Guardian, when I first saw this card, I really liked it, but then I realized that it has a very prohibitive mana cost, that tapping of 2 creatures is a lot worse than you think it is. It's very difficult to pull off efficiently, and you're trying to keep efficiency. However, Overgrown Tomb, another Shockland, keep those guys. Once again, they're gonna be valuable. They're going to retain their value, is the real use of the card, is that it just sits and it keeps its value. So, and value keeping cards are great. They're good trades later in the year. Chaos Imps, I actually had to go read what this card does because I had no idea. It's a flying 6/5 that can turn into a 7/6 with Unleash for 6 that has Trample if it has a +1/+1 counter. It's a great sealed bomb, I believe, but I don't think it's going to see any play in Standard. It's just, I mean, it is a 7/6 for 6. That could be good, and it has Trample. I don't know. Rethinking it, maybe it'll do something, but I still doubt it. Charms, once again, are good. Mizian Mortars, one of the few Overload cards I like. That and Bluster Squall are really my only big Overload cards that I enjoy, because I think Overload just, a lot of the commons and uncommons just aren't good enough. But Mizian Mortars, a little bit too expensive, but hey, you never know. It could do something cool. It's expensive for what it is, but it's great and sealed. It'll be excellent sealed. This was Desecration Demon. You notice I just put it away because I didn't care about it, because I don't like Desecration Demon. It's good against control, and that's about all I see it is good against. Granted, I lost to it. I was playing control, so I probably shouldn't bash it too bad. Necropolis Regent, that's another card I had to go look up, because I just didn't really know what it does. It has good chemistry with Corpsejack Menace. It puts +1/+1 counters, but I don't think it's going to see much play. It's very expensive. It's a 6-drop. Precinct Captain, however, I do think we'll see play in any kind of white weenie deck that shows up. I'm not sure if there will be a white weenie deck, but if there is, Precinct Captain will definitely see play. It has good interaction with the Ravnica, with the Innistrad cards, excuse me. Cryptborn Horror, one of those pain cast cards that they mentioned. I like it. I think it's interesting. I'm not going to make a judgment on it. I just don't know how good it's going to be or how bad it's going to be. I don't know what's going to happen with it. It has potential. I like potential. Potential's good. So, Loxodon Smiter, one phrase, Liliana of the Veil. They make you discard your Smiter, smash her in the face next turn. It's excellent. It's very good for what it does. Don't underestimate that card. It's uncounterable, 4/4 for 3. Beautiful. Beautiful. I could ask for more, but I won't. Counterflux, the counterspell to end all counterspells. I don't know how much standard play it's going to see. It's a little bit expensive because we have Syncopate in format, but it's good. It could see some legacy play. I'm not really a legacy player, or vintage or whatever you want to call it, modern, whatever. I'm just going to actually skip over this card because I don't like it. Conjured Currency is bad. It's funny, but it's bad. But yeah, Counterflux, it could see a little play in some formats, or it could see a lot of play. I don't know. I'm not adept in those formats, but I don't think it's going to see a lot in Standard. Deathrite Shaman, however, pick up these cards now. They are good. A 1/2 for 1 with 3 abilities. Granted, it relies completely on the graveyard, so Rest in Peace kills it, but that's just Rest in Peace, whatever. But I think that card's going to be excellent. I was very happy to pull one. I pulled one earlier in the day. I loved it. I was so happy. Sphinx's Revelation, however, I really wish this had been a Rakdos' Return. I think Rakdos' Return is better. But Counterflux, a foil Counterflux, hey, get a not so happy mythic, get a foil rare. Okay, I can go with that. I'll deal with that for the day. It's funny. Charms again. Sphinx of the Chimes, don't really like the card. I heard a very interesting and funny way to do it with Ravenous Rats, but other than that, not a big fan of it. I mean, it's interesting. I just think it's very prohibitive with what it can do. It's a big flyer that draws you cards and that if is very big. So I just don't think it's going to see much play, if any. I just don't. Mercurial Chemister, the Deathrite Shaman's friend, or actually arch enemy, who is exactly like him. Not as many abilities, a lot more expensive. But the abilities are better because they don't rely on the graveyard. And I think that's really key. And draw 2 for 1 mana, that's good. Granted, he has to tap to do it, so you can't do it multiple times in a turn unless you have multiples. But that's good. Drawing 2 cards is an excellent ability for 1 mana. I mean, come on, guys. That's getting close to what's called Ancestral Recall there. Corpsejack Menace, don't really like the card. Has good synergy with some of the cards in the set. Don't think it's going to do very well. Thank you for watching this box opening of Return to Ravnica. Be sure to check into mtggrind.wordpress.com. There will be a link in the description. Once again, thanks to Sage, Alex, and Josiah for helping me film this entire thing. And thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great day and enjoy the new set.